Alright guys, welcome to my channel. Here is a YouTube short review of Dune Messiah. I have uploaded a review of the first Dune on my channel as a regular video, so please check it out if you want to see what I thought about that. Now, Dune Messiah, as many have said already, this is not any news, it comes off a bit weak after the first Dune. It's difficult to follow that book, and it doesn't feel like it's on the same level either. You know, regardless of the story is actually pretty decent in and of itself, but the execution and the way things are presented, it just it hasn't aged well. It doesn't feel timeless. It just feels like the effort wasn't really there, in my opinion, and it feels very like the ideas are good, but they're executed in a way that's like, there's something about the way Frank Herbert uses language that is very different, and it worked really well for the first Dune book, and he didn't really zone into using it in a good way in this book, if I'm going to be totally honest. It's still an okay book. It's still a decent book, and, you know, a lot of ups and downs, but at the end of the day, I think I would give it a 7 out of 10. So it's definitely worth reading, but it's a huge jump down, and it just manages to get a 7.0 out of 10. It could also be a 6.8. That's almost where it's at. So, you know, it's decent. There is a progression of the story, and it kind of ties into what's going to happen in the future. But don't expect a lot, and I wasn't expecting a lot either. So I was actually pleasantly surprised. It's a pretty quick read. It, you know, compared to Dune, if Dune is like a movie, this feels more like one of these matinee movies you saw on that old TV channel Hallmark, if any of you are old enough to remember that, if that's even a thing still. So yeah, and it's a decent book, you know, but don't expect too much. And for those of you who are curious about this specific edition, I can just show you a little bit quickly. It has illustrations in the first and last section of the book, kind of cover of the book. So it's a decent edition, and I was actually planning to get all the books in these editions, but you know, the series fell off a lot for Dune, Children of Dune, so I might get it for the first book. So edition is quite decent, really deluxe, nice edition, real nice to read. The book itself is, the story is decent, but the execution is so-so. There are some things also that are, he just overcomplicated some situations, but all in all, it's worth your time. It's worth a read, but don't expect to be amazed by it. So that was it, guys. If you like this, like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more. Cheers.